Hi, I'm Walter Levi's Homemade Crunch, CEO of Schmuss General Brands. I'll keep it brief, but this is the best cereal, nay, the best thing in the world. It's all that I eat now. It's replaced my blood. I would kill for it. Many have. And it doesn't just come in one flavor, but more than that. I don't know exactly how many. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a Levi's Homemade Crunch guy. And you should be too. Everyone else is. Just see.
Hi, I'm David Hay, and I am here on behalf of Levi's Homemade Crunch. I'm here to tell you my life revolves around Levi and his crunch, alright? It's the eighth wonder of the world. Let me tell you a bit of the story of how it was made. I was sitting at a bar in Manhattan, right? It was me, it was Levi, and Warren Buffett, and we were all sitting down, and we were all thinking of ideas. How could we get richer? We were all billionaires at this point, but how could we get even further? And Levi, the genius that he is, chimed in and said, well, listen guys, I have the plan. I know what will take us to the next level, sort of, in marketing, and that's crunch.
Alright, you know what? Actually, I lied. I'm not going to keep it brief. We're going long. I'm not going to stop until everyone on the earth is eating Levi's Homemade Crunch. Alright, this is so good. It's so good, and you got to eat it. And I'll be here as long as it takes until every single person watching this is eating Levi's Homemade Crunch, and every single person in the world has seen it. All 300,000 people. Now, how exactly did I become the CEO of Schmuss General Brands? That is a wonderful question. Well, you see, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be the CEO of a large international corporation. And when I saw that the Schmuss General Brands' previous CEO, Mr. Ferguson, died in a horrific plane accident, I thought I should apply to be the CEO of Levi's Homemade Crunch. Sorry, I called Schmuss General Brands Levi's Homemade Crunch because of how much I love Levi's Homemade Crunch. You're gonna have to bear with me. Alright, let's recap. The CEO of Schmuss General Brands, Mr. Ferguson, he flies a plane directly into the ground for no reason, killing him instantly. I decide that I want to be the CEO. However, I've never been a CEO before. I have no qualifications. I'm 7 years old. And so, what do? But I decide to call Schmuss General Brands to figure out how exactly I can become the CEO. The problem, however, is that I do not know the phone number. So obviously, I go into the phone book and look up the phone number. Problem solved. What, did you think I was gonna call every phone number? Did you think I was gonna call every single phone number that existed in order to find out what the Schmuss General Brands phone number is? Do you think I'm some kind of idiot? Why would I do that? I'm not stupid, okay? Why would I do that? Now anyways, the receptionist picks up the phone. I tell her I'd like to be the CEO of Schmuss General Brands. Now instead of just stopping a child from being the CEO, she's intrigued by the concept of child labor, and she decides to let me be the CEO as long as I get paid in Levi's Homemade Crunch. And this is where it all started. You see, I'd never even had Levi's Homemade Crunch before. When I was a kid, I only ate wheat germ. But now that I was only being paid in Levi's Homemade Crunch, I thought, what the heck? I might as well eat some of this, because I can't seem to spend it at money at any of the stores. I got arrested a couple of times for trying to do that, and it was a minor scandal in the Schmuss General Brands history. But anywho, I ate the Levi's Homemade Crunch, and I thought, my goodness, this is so good. And that's why I'm here today, to tell you how delicious this cereal is, and how much you need to eat it. Levi's Homemade Crunch is the cure for cancer. This is a 100% verifiable statement that I, representative of Schmuss General Brands as a whole, is claiming. And if you consume Levi's Homemade Crunch and do not have all of the cancer in the world instantly cured, you have the right to sue us for $1 Levi's Homemade Crunchillion.
I'm Levi's Homemade Crunch, and I approve this message.
Now you might be asking, how much is a Levi's Homemade Crunchillion? Well, you see, it's a 1 followed by 1 0. The reason why that's a Levi's Homemade Crunchillion is because that's how much money we made in revenue last year. The company is booming, and it is doing fantastic, because $1 Levi's Homemade Crunchillion is, in current 2025 dollars, just throwing out a random year for no reason, is about $1 quadrillion. Search up Levi's Homemade Crunch inflation in the yellow pages. I wish Levi's Homemade Crunch was a woman so that I could marry Levi's Homemade Crunch. You know, when I eat Levi's Homemade Crunch, I think to myself, everything's groovy. It's a beautiful day. Everything's groovy, and I'm making my way. Everything's groovy, keep on trucking along. Everything's groovy, and I'm singing my song. And my song, of course, is the Levi's Homemade Crunch jingle. That was my #1 song on Spotify Wrapped this year. It's the only song I listen to, and I listen to it constantly. I have Levi's Homemade Crunch on my telephone, playing the jingle constantly on Spotify at a very loud volume so that I can always hear it. If you still don't believe Levi's Homemade Crunch is the one true reason that God exists, then I don't know what to say other than you should be put to death. However, maybe this will change your mind.
And so I was drinking my Chinese whiskey, and I get no ice, and I was like, you know what I was thinking? It was like, you know, there's no crunch to the whiskey. I feel like, and this is might be a controversial taking, so you could call me wrong for this one, but I feel like, you know, if I'm speaking from my perspective, from my point of view as a single human being with thoughts and feelings and opinions, I'm sitting here thinking, you know what would make whiskey, and to a lesser extent all drinks, better, is crunch. And so when Levi said that, I knew he struck gold. And then when Warren Buffett had a stroke and we had to drive him to the hospital, you know, kind of killed the vibe a little bit. But we were like, Levi, let's leave him in the hospital. And let's get down to the brass tacks. How's this going to work? And so here's the thing. As I tie my shoe, the story of Levi's Crunch is very similar to the story of Mark Zuckerberg. It kind of started as a way to rate women, much like Facebook, which is odd for, you know, a cereal brand. But that was the main goal of it at the time. Was to get women talking, and if they didn't like the crunch, then that was like, whatever they rated the crunch, that was the rating that they gave to them. And so on the back of the boxes of every prototype crunch box, there would be a little thing that said, how would you rate your experience with the crunch? And it would be the numbers 1 to 10, and then it would be Levi's phone number, and you could call him. He got thousands of calls from women raving about the crunch. 10s, 9s, 9.5s. There were no decimals, those were written in. The Electoral College votes for the crunch decided that it was the most perfect cereal that had ever been created, and I was like, well, Levi, we can't just use this as like a front. We need to use it for something bigger. Cereal, and providing foods on the tables of hard-working, upper middle class Americans. And so that's why we charge. The cereal charges more because that's the market that we're going for. You have to understand. I mean, we would just make no profit if we appealed to lower classes economically. It just wouldn't make any money. They don't have any. So I pitched that to Levi, and he was like, you know what, that's right. And then immediately he shot me 20 times in the chest, and then ran out of the apartment that we both owned, and took the idea for his own. And, you know, that was a betrayal that I still haven't fully recovered from.
I love Levi's Homemade Crunch, that I'm going to do something that, as the CEO of Schmuss General Brands, no one has ever done. I'm going to put Levi's Homemade Crunch on a 50% discount sale permanently. Effective immediately, Levi's Homemade Crunch is only $100 in 1958. Forever. Now, what's in Levi's Homemade Crunch? Many have asked this question, you know, due to the fact that we do not put even a semblance of ingredients on the box. However, don't you want to have some imagination? I feel like as a country, we've lost so much of our imagination. We just do whatever's told to us. We just look at what people tell us and we believe it. We don't even question things anymore. You know, we don't interpret things. You know, we look at movies, we look at television shows, we look at books, and we wonder exactly what the author interpreted, you know, without even thinking what I can interpret this as. And even if the author, you know, didn't even personally intend for something to happen, you can still look at a piece of media and find something in there, but people are telling you that you can't. You know, death of the author is often used to say that you can still enjoy a piece of media by someone who has done something bad, but really, it's meant to say that even if the author did not mean to imply something in their work, that doesn't mean that you can't see it, and that is why I have not put the ingredients on Levi's Homemade Crunch. I want you to determine that for yourself. America, you know, ever since I became the CEO of Schmuss General Brands, I've made a lot of changes to Levi's Homemade Crunch. I know some people aren't necessarily happy with that. You know, the way that I've changed Levi's Homemade Crunch, kids seem to love it, but parents who grew up on this stuff seem to say that's no longer my Levi's Homemade Crunch. You know, like for example, I made it so that you could eat it. You used to not be able to do it. You used to just be able to look at it. You couldn't even open the box. I changed that. And I'm here to say, you're welcome, America. I've been hearing some stuff about this John F. Kennedy, and I gotta say, while he might seem like a nice guy to some, he does not like Levi's Homemade Crunch, and he's gone on the record saying that. You know, we can't let this guy become president. So we gotta stop him. I don't know how, organize a boycott or something, but ooh, under no circumstances can I let him become president. And if he does, my God, he's not finishing that term.
I'm Levi's Homemade Crunch, and I approve this message.
You know, another thing that people got mad about me for Levi's Homemade Crunch is I removed the incredibly attractive anthropomorphic animal mascot that used to be on every box of Levi's Homemade Crunch. And I gotta say, isn't there something better for you to be looking at than Levi's Homemade Crunch? Is that the hill you're gonna die on as a person in society? What are we doing here? We only have so many minutes in life, and you're spending it arguing about what happens to Levi's Homemade Crunch. I love the cereal, but it's gotta change. Nothing should ever be the way that it is forever. I don't think that's how things should be. They always need to change, and if you get mad at that, buddy, I don't know what to say, because change is the one permanent thing in this town. Just, I don't know, just put Levi's Homemade Crunch, just put like the PNG of the box, just on, I spent a lot of time working on this actually. I spent a lot of time like designing the product for this box. It has all 6 sides, all with like stuff on it. I'm just gonna put the whole box side by side so that you can like see the effort that went into it, because there's actually a lot of stuff here, and this is so tiny. And that is because I'm just a really big guy. But you can barely see the thing, and I don't want any of this to get lost. I want you to be able to see this in all of its beauty. You're making me real mad. You're telling me you still don't like Levi's Homemade Crunch? You're not gonna be a Levi's Homemade Crunch guy? Take this!
So, flash forward 5 years. Now, up until this point, I was building residencies in Tel Aviv. I was building luxury apartments for soldiers up in Israel. And I got back in touch with Levi because while I was I was flying back. I flew into Florida, and I went to a grocery store, a Whole Foods, and in the dumpster behind the Whole Foods was full boxes of Levi's Homemade Crunch, and I full unopened boxes. And I decided to reach in, grab one. It had been 5 years since I had this, since I tasted it. And so I tasted it. I tasted the crunch. And I immediately, after taking my first bite of the crunch, immediately made $60 billion in stocks. Now that was completely unrelated. That was just due to me, making my own. Just like, I burned all the buildings, I burned all the housing down in Tel Aviv that I constructed, and I sold all of my shares immediately before that. So I made bank. And, but, so I tasted the cereal, made a bunch of money, and then I immediately had to get Levi. I knew we had to rectify the situation. And so we met up for coffee at a coffee place that you've probably never heard of, Applebee's. And, we got to talking about business again, and it felt like the good old times. We had the eviction calendar, and what it was a shared Google calendar that we both had, and we would on the calendar put where all of the residents that we were going to evict, we would put them on that calendar. And so it was, but it was kind of like a game to us, so we would see who could fit more evictions into the month and still face no legal repercussion. And so we got to talking about that, and we talked about other businesses, other markets. We worked production for Stranger Things. We were at the time casting ads for American Eagle, and we found the perfect fit, and so we found the perfect fit for the jeans, and then the topic of the crunch came up, and I was like, listen, Levi, you have struck gold. The moment that I tasted the crunch, I divorced my wife, and then I put our kids into the trunk of our car, put a brick on the accelerator, and drove it straight into the elementary school. Because you know why? I don't need anything in my life anymore, okay? I just need the crunch. Ooh-wee. I need that crunchy, munchy goodness. And so Levi's response to this, and I'll never forget it, he immediately shot me 50 times in the chest and then left the Applebee's as fast as he could.
What more do I have to say to convince you to eat Levi's homemade crunch? I don't want to have to start threatening you, but I will. I don't want to, but I will. Don't doubt me. Don't test me. Don't test what you think I will and won't do, because I'll do just about anything to get you to eat a little bit of Levi's homemade crunch, okay? I'm Walter Levi's homemade crunch. I changed my last name to Levi's homemade crunch. And you might say, why didn't you just change your first name to Levi and your last name to homemade crunch? And that's because I didn't think of that until after I'd already had my name changed, and I don't want to do it again. I had to update all my stuff. It was so annoying. It should be way easier to get your name changed, I think. Don't read too far into that. Levi and his homemade crunch. A crunch, a crunch, a crunch, a crunch, 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 a crunch, crunch. I'm gonna say it, I think murder should be legal, but only for people who don't eat Levi's homemade crunch. I don't get segregation. It should only be we should only segregate society based on people who do eat Levi's homemade crunch and people who don't eat Levi's homemade crunch, alright? I don't get what the deal with race is, okay? Levi's homemade crunch is more important. That's not going in the video. Look, I'm gonna have to make a public apology to everyone. I said some stuff that I had to cut out of the video. It was crazy. I went on some crazy rants about what should happen to people who don't eat Levi's homemade crunch. The rants I went on, I listed specifically how the rights should be removed, what we should do to them, how exactly we were going to do to it, the politicians that I was going to have you vote for to get in office that would have pro-Levi's homemade crunch, policies put in place, and the way that slowly, bit by bit, we were going to transform this country into a Levi's homemade crunchocracy, where you have to eat the cereal or I will blow your brains out personally. And I just want to say that I was joking. That was simply a little joke, and jokes which famously mean nothing and you can't look into at all. Don't look into it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Levi's homemade crunch, alright? What do any of these flavors taste like? Honest to God, I don't know. Like, I eat them. I eat them every day. I eat every single one of them every single day, because it's the best food and the only food in the world. But like, what do they taste like? Like, genuinely, I don't know. Like, Levi's homemade nothing, there's still stuff in there somehow. Like, you open the box and it's empty, but you can still eat it, and it's still, like, I'm getting nutrients. I get less full when I eat Levi's homemade nothing, but there's nothing in there. I don't know how that works. The scientists that we put to work on this are crazy. Oppenheimer, you might have remembered him from the guy who dropped the bomb to end the war, and it was famously a good thing because it's 1958. He's working on Levi's homemade crunch now, and I don't know how Levi's homemade pondering orb. It looks the same. Tastes entirely different. It tastes good, but it's indescribable. Levi's homemade green? What the hell is that? I don't know how that tastes like anything. Levi's homemade sideways? Very distinct, very different taste. But it, like, sideways isn't a flavor. I can't eat that, but I can. It's driving me mad. It's making me lose my mind. But literally, how does that work? Can someone explain to me how Levi's homemade content aware scale, like, what does that taste like? I mean, I know we don't have the ingredients on the box for a reason, but like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm the CEO. You would think that I would know this. I don't. I genuinely don't. I don't know much. I just sit in my little office and I eat Levi's homemade crunch, and sometimes I fire people. Okay? I fire people. You know, I just kind of, I don't have like a set schedule. I don't do meetings. I'm not a meetings guy. I think all meetings should just be emails, and emails haven't been invented yet. So I have a good like 30, 40 years before, you know, we actually have to I have to start doing things. You might ask me, how the hell do I know about email? That's because I'm the CEO of Schmuss General Brands. We don't just do Levi's homemade crunch. That's all I talk about because that's the best thing that we make. We own Bell Labs, all right? The people that make all of the the scientific advancements and things, like, we own them. We own General Electric, General Mills, any of the we own so many companies now, actually. It's crazy. We own funeral homes. We have a large stake in the funeral home industry for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. We started with Levi's homemade crunch, and then we branched out into a couple of other cereals, like Schmubertos, but they failed to catch on, and so really we're just doing variants of Levi's homemade crunch. But we have a technology section. We make nuclear weapons for the United States military. Levi's homemade crunch actually played a pivotal part in taking down communist and socialist leaders that were doing well and kind of ruining the countries of those people. We worked greatly with the United States to help that happen. I don't know how that benefits us, but it kind of does. Somehow, I think. Somehow that's a good thing. Somehow that proves our ideology is better than the other ideology. If we destroy all of the ideologies that we don't like that work, and we make them look like they don't work, then we win. Because, you know, as long as it looks like we're winning, then we kind of are. If you eat enough Levi's homemade crunch, your third eye starts to open. You start seeing some weird stuff. I think that's probably a side effect of Levi's homemade crunch, because, I mean, I don't consume anything else. I don't even consume water. You know, people have their cereal with milk. I eat my Levi's homemade crunch raw, because there's no Levi's homemade milk yet, alright? Where is it? Where is Levi's homemade milk? Levi's homemade slurp? Give that to me.
I'm Levi's homemade crunch, and I approve this message.
Anyways, look at what this girl has to say.
So I paid the check, and then I left. You know, picked my kids up at school, remarried my wife, and So that's the story of Levi's Crunch, and I'm here to tell you that it is the best thing that my taste buds have ever felt in my mouth. Okay. So what am I working on now? Where's the business for me? Levi has his crunch. Levi has the crunch all to himself. Anything he wants to do with the company, he gets to do with the company, and I can't do anything about that. So it's time for me to focus on my own brands. Which is why I have decided that I am officially making the Angry Birds movie. Picture this. Those favorite birds that you all love, that you all have in your phone right now, the iconic play button that you would press, slingshotting, so many birds, and each of them, their own names and distinct personalities, into these poorly made 2D contraptions formed by pigs. It's a lifestyle brand. Everyone knows them. They're recognizable faces. Green pigs? That was actually, my idea. And so I have the rights to make a movie version of these fluffy, funny, little angry birds. And the cast is genius. For Red, the original, the iconic Angry Bird, we have the voice work of the one and the only podcast extraordinaire Theo Von. No one fits the role of the Red Angry Bird better than Theo, middle name, and many people don't know this, his middle name is Nordingsmith, Theo Nordingsmith Von. Now, the question that we're all thinking is, who's going to voice Chuck, the yellow triangle that can move super fast? And folks, I'm excited to announce to you that I will be taking the role of Chuck on myself. And I know what you're thinking. What do I know about voice acting work, or character work, or anything of that nature? And I'm here to tell you nothing at all. But I also have this question to you, America. What do you know about character work? And what on God's green earth does Chuck the Yellow Angry Bird know about character work? The final person we have in our voice cast right now is Bomb the Angry Bird, will be voiced by Vice President J.D. Vance. More information will come out soon. Thank you for your loyalty to the brand. The entirety of my life revolves around Levi and his crunch. It's the 8th wonder of the world, and I'm hoping to make the 9th with the Angry Birds movie, releasing September 12th.
Remember that time we went to the rage room?
Crunch! What are you doing to my crunch? He stole crunch from me. No!
I'm going at him with the hammer.
It's called a sledgehammer, actually. Oh god. He's built tough.
Break all the items in our cup, right?
Yeah. Alright everybody, welcome back to the crunch. We're in Levi's new house right now. Levi moved, and so we're filming some stuff, just normal videos.
Mom, don't be my mom.
Oh dude, no way, what is this?
Yo, this is like my grandma. I really love it. Like,
Oh, that's pretty epic.
Dude,
It's still
at
alive.
least I can save it, you know.
Oh, can I see that, Levi?
It's a little something I can call a cutaway gag. I've been standing here the whole time that thing played. You know who else doesn't eat Levi's homemade crunch? This guy, F.H. Spangenberg. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a pretty dang rich guy. It's really like, if you're in the industry, then you're gonna know F.H. Spangenberg. He owns factories. Like, his deal is he makes factories Like he has a factory that makes all the other factories that make all the other things, including Levi's Homemade Crunch. And so he owns a little bit of Levi's Homemade Crunch. Like every Levi's Homemade Crunch that gets made, he makes a little bit of money off of them. And he hates Levi's Homemade Crunch, all right? I mean, I'd like to start my own factory, but he owns like the patent for factories, and he's lobbied Congress to extend that patent specifically forever. So no one gets to make their own factories. And so we're just kind of trapped forever. And as much as I love this gosh darn capitalistic system, I'm beginning to think maybe it has one flaw, and that's the only flaw. Because otherwise, it's great. Actually, no. Another flaw, capitalism and money should be replaced with Levi's Homemade Crunch. Or maybe make like a Levi's Homemade Money. Or maybe the problem with everything today is because there's no security. Like every dollar is inexchangeable. Like, I'll put it this way, every single, dollar that we have, which should be Levi's Homemade Crunch, but I'm going to say dollars, every dollar is interchangeable with every other dollar, and that's just kind of weird, because they're different things. Like, this dollar, I have a dollar here, and I have a dollar here. These are not the same dollar, but I can use them as if they were the same dollar. And I think we need to make every single dollar have its own unique thing and have, an identifier on it. So if we were to get, some sort of, centralized blockchain, and all of our money was on that, and also all of our art was on that, and all of our art was really, really ugly, then I think that would make capitalism better. And unfortunately, this will never happen, so, maybe that's the second flaw with capitalism, is there's no NFTs. But, oh well, at least there's Levi's Homemade Crunch. I don't know how to end this video. I don't know how to end this. Levi's Homemade Crunch, what do I do? My dogs are barking, literally. I'm gonna have to end it. But anyways, stay groovy. Never mind, I just dropped my Levi's Homemade Crunch. Everything sucks now. This is terrible. How am I gonna go on? I'm gonna jump off a building.
For breakfast, dinner, lunch, there's Levi's Homemade Crunch.
I'm Levi's Homemade Crunch, and I approve this message.